C.H. Venkatachalam, General Secretary, All India Bank Employees Association. I have come to Nainital to attend the All India AIBEA's Private Sector Bank Union Cell. AIBEA has organized a separate exclusive cell for the unions in private sector banks to discuss with a special focus on the exclusive problems that are faced by the employees and our unions in the private sector banks. In AIBEA, we have Public Sector Bank Union, Private Sector Bank Union, Regional Rural Bank Employees Union, Cooperative Bank Employees Union, Foreign Bank Employees Union, Deposit Collectors, Cost to Company Employees, Contract Employees, all types of people are there. So different problems are there for different type of people. So this is the reason why we held a meeting. It was a 2-day meeting, and we have AIBEA unions in 11 banks. See, Catholic Syrian Bank, then Dhanlakshmi Bank, then Federal Bank, then Karnataka Bank, Karur Vysya Bank, then we have this in Nainital Bank is there, Ratnakar Bank is there, RBL Bank, then we have the Kotak Mahindra Bank, STFC Bank, IDBI Bank. In all these banks, we have our unions, and the leaders of these unions met here. And the General Secretary of Federal Bank Employees Union, young comrade Sujit Raju, he is the convener, All India convener for our private sector bank union cell. Similarly, the General Secretary of All India Karnataka Bank Employees Association, Comrade KG Panindra, he is the chairman of this private sector bank union cell. They came, and along with that, all the leaders of these private sector unions came. Along with me, Comrade Rajneesh Gupta, Joint Secretary of the All India Bank Employees Association. He is from the neighboring state, Uttar Pradesh. He was also there in the meeting throughout. And we discussed a lot of issues which are faced by the unions and our employees in the private sector banks. The primary issue we found is that, you see, banks are meant to serve the people, to give service. But for giving service, we need proper number of employees. Whereas we found that in private sector bank, even in public sector banks all the more, there is a tendency not to recruit adequate number of staff in the branches, and the staff were working in the counter, what we call the clerical staff. Now they are called customer service associate. To give customer service, we need people in the counter, but they are not recruiting the people, so there is a lot of shortage. And so we demanded in the meeting that there should be adequate recruitment in all the private banks, for that matter in all the banks. On the other hand, what we are finding, that instead of filling up these vacancies through regular permanent employees who are covered by the industry level bipartisan settlement, they are going for shortcut method, say cost to company employees, contract employees, temporary employees, because they are totally exploited a lot. They are not covered by the bipartisan settlement. So to avoid this bipartisan settlement implementation and the wages covered by the settlement, they are resorting to cost to company. Thousands of people in different banks they want to take, and so we want to oppose it. Because these are the young people who aspire for some job in our country, our education, and they have a right to a decent job, permanent job. And then only they can get married, settle in life, and contribute for the society at large. But we find that these people are compelled to join banks and other institutions on a contractual basis, on an outsourced basis, on a cost to company basis. These are not proper. So this is also unfair. And so mainly in the meeting we decided that we should pursue the demand for adequate recruitment of staff, permanent staff, in clerical cadre, in subordinate cadre, even housekeeping staff, they are not recruiting. So this was discussed in the meeting. Secondly, we find some of the private sector bank managements, they are also bound by Indian law. It is not that there is no law. Indian labor laws are equally applicable to the private sector banks, also public sector banks. But we find of late they are becoming vindictive. Last year, 2 years ago, we found in Federal Bank, unwarrantedly, without any provocation, they terminated two of our leading comrades who were leaders of the union. on a flimsy ground and they are out of job. So that is to target the union, to attack the trade union rights, because they were championing the cause of the employees, they were terminated. That we are fighting. Even the government labor authorities have told that the employee is a protected employee. That means without consulting the government labor machinery, the management cannot take action. But violating the labor law, they have terminated our office bearer. So such type of things have been there. Now recently we have a glaring example. In Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank, it's a private bank which is headquartered in Tamil Nadu in the extreme south in Thoothukudi, Tuticorin. In that bank, all the time they have a feudal approach. They want to treat the employees like slaves. They are not permitting legitimate trade union activity, democratic functioning of the unions, etc. And all the time they are attacking. Now, 10 days ago, we have found that they have suspended two leaders, the president and general secretary of the union have been suspended. And what is the crime that they have committed? They just started what we call the WhatsApp group. WhatsApp group is common now. People are exchanging. It is a private thing. It is a totally both an encrypted type of WhatsApp group. And the employees were talking in that bank that instead of the settlement that is applicable to all other banks, in that bank the management was trying to impose cost to company method. Cost to company method means the salary will depend on your efficiency. Some part will give, some part will be at the mercy of the management on efficiency, etc. We are not against efficiency, but transparent system should be there. So this was in the air, and a lot of people wanted to ventilate their grievances. What is their view about this new method of compensation for the employees? So one group was created, and a lot of people joined that group, and they were all exchanging their opinion. No, should be like this should not be like this. Why there should be cost to company introduction in this bank? And not only their bank, it is a general group. It is not meant for Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank alone. But because the proposal came, a lot of people were exchanging their opinion. So management took cognizance of that how can you have a private WhatsApp group and it is anti-bank activity, and so they were suspended. Now it is followed up with a charge sheet that you are indulging in anti-bank activity. How having a private WhatsApp group, what is that? Suppose in a house of 10 people, they meet and they discuss something. Who should be the Prime Minister of the country? Who should be the Chief Minister of the particular state? These are all private things. If they come openly and talk anything illegal or against anybody, it's a defamatory, or against the bank, it is anti-bank. This is purely a closed door discussion, and that is just to ventilate. Nothing has been done. People are talking why there should be a change from this settlement to cost to company. And as though it's a big crime, these two are sought to be victimized, and so we have taken it up. We have demanded of the management that they should withdraw this charge sheet and suspension and amicably resolve the matter, because the employees want to work for the bank. Banks are very important for our economy, whether it's a private bank or a public sector bank. Banks have to contribute for the service of the people and for the economic development. So we have no time to unnecessarily indulge in all types of things which are unwarranted. It's a legitimate trade union in our country. There is a Trade Union Act, and our union is registered under the Indian Trade Union Act. There is an industrial dispute act. Labor laws are there. We are working under that only. But management is vindictive. So this also we discussed, and already a strike has been announced in Tamil Nadu, entire Tamil Nadu, all bank employees on 2nd of December, and preceded by various demonstrative programs. So in this private sector bank union meeting, the meeting has extended its full support and solidarity to the Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank Employees Union. And after the Tamil Nadu Bank Employees Federation strike, if still the management does not relent, if they continue with their hostile, vindictive approach, then entire private sector bank employees union will also come in the picture all over the country, and rather I would say entire All India Bank Employees Association, all bank employees, lakhs of bank employees will have to go on strike. So we only want the management of Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank to see reason, withdraw their aggressive actions and restore normalcy. See, this is one thing that was discussed. Similarly, the meeting was held in Nainital, and in Nainital there is a 100-year-old bank, Nainital Bank. That bank is owned by, or it's a subsidiary of the Bank of Baroda, a government bank. 98.5% of the shares are belonging to the Bank of Baroda. And Bank of Baroda is a leading public sector bank, government's bank. And now suddenly we find that there are some move to sell this bank to some corporate private hand. There is no need at all. It's a prestigious bank, it's a wonderful bank, and the headquarters is in Uttaranchal. The only bank with headquarters in Uttaranchal is Nainital Bank. If there are any issues that can be sorted out, our unions are ready to cooperate with the management, how the bank can come up. But there are many issues because the whole state is backward state and the branches are all situated in rural area, etc. So it is not a bank like in metropolitan in Mumbai or Delhi or Calcutta or Chennai, like that. It's a peculiar thing. And they should discuss with us what is the problem. We will sort out the issue. But if they proceed to sell the bank to any private corporate entity, on that also our meeting decided to fight it back. And the entire All India Bank Employees Association also will fight. We want Nainital Bank to continue as it is so that it can subserve the economic needs and welfare of the people of the state. That is one thing. Then after that we were also finding that people will remember 1969 major private banks were nationalized. In our country all banks were private banks. But after the country became independent, free in 1947, from 1951, our country has launched this 5-year plan for growth and development. And plans have been evolved, but resources became a problem. And resources were in the banks because people kept their savings in the private banks. But private banks were not willing to help. On the other hand, the safety of the people's money was a question mark. Many private banks collapsed and they were not helping the economic development. So All India Bank Employees Association, we demanded all banks should be nationalized. But at that time in 69, major 14 banks were nationalized. In 1980, another 6 private banks were nationalized. Remaining private banks continue. And now new private banks have been added. But we find in the last 30 years that there is absolutely no need to continue these private banks. Because even today we find Lakshmi Vilas Bank, Yes Bank, many private banks. If private banking is so efficient, why Lakshmi Vilas Bank collapsed? Why Yes Bank came into serious problem? Why Reserve Bank had to declare moratorium on Yes Bank? Even in other private banks also there are problems. So private banking is not a panacea, it is not a solution. How we run the bank is important. Public sector banks are already subserving the larger interest of the people and the country, its economy, its growth. And so we have been demanding all the private sector banks in our country should also be brought into public sector. So like this major issues were discussed, and there are other peculiar individual issues are also there in different banks and different unions they are confronted with, and decisions have been taken. And we are going to pursue these issues. And the decisions of the private sector bank union are not only their decision, it is going to be the decision of the entire All India Bank Employees Association, because the private sector banks are part of the AIBEA, they are members of inseparable part of the All India Bank Employees Association. Their problems are the general problems of the All India Bank Employees Association. So when we meet next time, all these issues will be addressed by the All India Bank Employees Association also. And we want the private sector banks, our unions, to further contribute for the unity and struggle of the bank employees movement, so that banking in India, they become vibrant, and the vibrant banking helps a vibrant economy. A vibrant economy will ensure that people's needs are taken care. And that is why this meeting is very, very important. I'm very happy that very important decisions have been taken in this meeting. I will introduce the convener of our All India Bank Employees Association, Private Sector Bank Unions Cell, Comrade Sujit Raju. He is a very young comrade, upcoming comrade for our All India Bank Employees Association. He is working in Federal Bank in Kerala. He is the All India convener. So he will also brief us what happened in this meeting.
We had a good meeting here, leaders of private sector banks, and we deliberated so many issues, what is now prevailing in private banks. So many issues are there, attacks on the leaders, those who are coming forward, that is also there, and individual banks having their own issues, but some common issue, trending issues are here that the cell discussed and taken some serious resolution to resolve those issues. That is one of the major important issue is recruitment. Now what we can see in the country, the employment is required. Lakhs of educated people are roaming here and there in our country. In banking industry, we had a legacy that banks are used to give jobs to the youngsters. Now, as like other sectors, here in banking industry also this outsourcing and contract laboring is coming. Now, a rough assessment in banking industry, lakhs of educated people are exploiting by doing this regular jobs in C2C cadre and outsourcing. So what we are demanding here, what we deliberated here, the youngsters, those who are working with the banks, especially in private banks, lakhs of youngsters are working as a C2C employees. Here we had taken a resolution that we are going to demand to observe these contract labor employees and outsourced employees to permanent nature. Then lakhs of families will be taken care. Such a serious demand we are raising from here this meeting, and another issues are there. In banking industry, we had a pension settlement in 1993. There onwards, our employees are having a protected field. Those who are working 30 years, 40 years in the banking industry, they can confidently they can lead their life in the future also. But here now after 2010 onwards, the new pension scheme came. Now, what the feeling among the employees they are having, they want to pay. New pension scheme came and they have to contribute for the pension, and that will be market linked also. Risk is also there. So such type of insecurity feeling is there among the youngsters. That is why in this meeting we had a discussion also. AIBEA also had demanded to come back to old pension scheme. In the last 12th bipartite settlement also, AIBEA tried in the UFB banner, and we have to sort out some issues and we have to make some improvement there. But we are strongly now demanding the employees, those who are in the new pension scheme, they have to bring back to old pension scheme. That is a need of the hour. We are thinking now. While we are taking the members, the age factor in the employees working in the bank, they are youngsters, those who are working, so they should not be exploited. The union formed here is from the according to the rules and bylaws, what is prevailing in the country, what are the rules in the country. So the management also they have to keep that in their mind also. So we have a right to form the union, we have the right to agitate for the betterment of the employees and betterment of our country also. We always stood like that. Again, we will continue. Anyway, this is a good initiative. Now we had a good discussion here. Now after that, Comrade General Secretary pointed out here issues in some certain banks, that also we will pursue further. Resolution will be there. Now onwards, the private sector banks union cell will be there in forefront of our programs, or whatever the issues coming to this individual banks also, we will come all together and we will fight for them also. This is what we sold here, and a further meeting also we decided, and that will continue.